All right, guys, we are live for the final time tonight. We are about to be joined by Mr. Alan Quah. Very excited for this. This is one of the other few guys that's a three-peat
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he is a Hall of Famer.
Him and Patrick Gleason, first ballots.
That's right. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get the sponsor obligations out of the way, and then we will get into that.
We have the Short Box podcast. They're coming up on their 300th episode, so give them a check out. If you're looking for a good comic podcast, make it the Short Box.
At JJ's Comics and Art, head over to his Instagram bio to check out all the latest things that he has to offer, from comics featuring Doug Mankey, from prints featuring Doug Mankey, sports cards too, and Paul. They're coming back
there. Scott's Collectibles reps some of the top creators in the business today, and they were kind enough to lend a few of their clients to the show. Head over to scottscollectibles.co.uk for the latest offerings from their creators.
MajorPain.com just launched and is adding new comics every day. Like them on Facebook and join their insider group, or feel free to just give them a call and they'll help you find the comics and comic art you're looking for.
Alpha Omega Certification is the official CGC facilitator for Comic Conline. Check out alphaomegacertification.com for an amazing list of signature submission opportunities.
OutrightGeekery.com is the official news site for Comic Conline. Head to their page to check out the latest in comic-related news.
The Comic Book Shopping Network is a hub where retailers can come together to host live sales every single day. Comic Book Shopping Network is the home for some of the best comic deals and people on Facebook.
OasisComics.com is your official home for Jay Lee and David Barron exclusive covers. Now available are the Power Ranger exclusive color blank sets.
And get over to CoffinComicsShop.com to get your Artgerm exclusive for Comic Conline.
All right, guys, we're going to say hello to Mr. Alan Quah.
Alan, how you doing?
Hey, guys.
Got him again. That is awesome, man. I love seeing those things. He had that one. He had sort of a bit of a darker one last time. Those things are awesome.
Yeah, I have two now.
Do those sit up on your desk while you draw?
Well, it's around me all the time.
Yeah.
So
my reference.
How have you been since the last one, bud?
Well, this third time the charm, right, guys?
Yeah, man.
This is yeah. So thank you for bringing me back in again.
This is I just want to remind everybody, when we did the first one, the beta, Alan had never gone live before.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can't stop.
Yep. Yeah, now I can't stop. I blame you for overexposing myself on the internet right now.
Hey, man, people love watching you, man. They love your art. So it's
yeah.
I'm glad you finally decided to go live. I get to check out some of your stuff here and there. Let's see. See if we have any questions to start out here while Greg gets it shared.
Just shared to some groups.
Nothing yet. Just a whole bunch of praise for Alan.
Good evening, everyone.
I've got a complete non-art question for Alan. So, Alan, I see you post like food pictures and stuff like that a lot. So I'm assuming you're kind of you enjoy the food. What's been the best you've had like at a convention so far, like in your travelings?
What is that? Sorry.
Is there a restaurant or a meal that you like you remember from a convention that you're like, next convention I'm going back and I'm having that, or one place you always have to visit?
Oh God.
Do cons?
God. Yeah, there are these two breakfast place that we really love to hang out at. The one near the convention center in Orlando. I've forgotten the name. Oh goodness! But that's the breakfast place that we go to for 4 days straight. When we were at Orlando last year.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I miss my American breakfast really. It just doesn't make it the same over here. Yeah. But American breakfast is
very fattening.
It is. Yeah. What else? Interestingly enough, I realized that there are a lot of really good Chinese restaurants in New York. We stumbled onto a few when we were at New York last year.
Yeah.
It is very different from the Chinese restaurants that we have over here. For some reason the portions are all really really big. So yeah, I miss the Chinese restaurants too.
Yeah, the portion. For some reason, I don't know why we have so much food. I mean, like we get plates big enough for 4 people over here.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's like it's not like I'm smaller than you, like, or anything like that. I'm probably about the same size as you. So if you know wonton, right? Wonton?
Wonton, like the
Yes, the dumpling, wonton.
Oh yes.
Yeah. The wonton in New York, right, is like double the size of the wonton over here. So the first time when we had that, it's like, wow, man, this is like super tasty.
do you remember the name of the ramen place we went to in New York, Greg?
I have a photo.
Greg takes a photo of all the food places we go to.
Just the good ones.
No, just the good ones. We were looking around. We were supposed to go eat with John Boy Myers and his wife one night, and we get to this place, and we just could not get in. I mean, the wait was like hours. So we're just, so Art Germ, Greg, me, who else? Ryan was Ryan. Yeah, Ryan was there, and I think Anna was with us too.
Thai Select.
That place was awesome. I don't even remember what street it was on. I could probably never ever find it again.
It's in the Garment District, apparently.
Okay, but it was good.
You guys must be hungry now, right? You haven't eaten your dinner, right?
Yeah, we ate a little bit. Like I took a break during the season, and I went and picked us up some fast food because we're not big enough already. We'll go home as soon as we're done here. Though we'll hit the door and we'll go grab something to eat. It's just like a con. That's how we're treating it.
Yeah. You don't eat when you're working, right? Just like me. I don't like to eat when I'm working. So talking about work, before I start, I would like to just give a really, really quick shout out to all my friends who are following me right now. Thank you for coming in to watch me draw again today. And there's one of my friends whose little baby is having his birthday today. Daniel Bertis, happy birthday to your little kid.
Yes.
Yeah, and to everyone who knows me, looking forward to draw for you guys again. So today, just like the last 2 shows, I will attempt to draw something live, and then if you like this enough, then you can claim this when I'm almost finishing. Are we cool?
Yeah, man. Definitely. Can't wait. That's gonna be awesome.
So I shall get started as we chat. Okay.
All right, sounds good. So if you're not live streaming while you're doing art, is there something you like? Do you like to listen to music or podcasts, watch TV while you draw?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of 70s music these days. I stumble onto this really good website on one of my radio channels, and they have this really cool 70s music, and I find that very therapeutic when I draw these days. So I'm stuck to that for a while. This channel, but prior to that, I was really into embarrassing to say, I'm into folk. I enjoy listening to folk.
Huh. Not really my cup of tea. Of course, my brand of music isn't most people's cup of tea. So,
Daniel Berta says thank you. Peyton heard you and giggled.
Let's see what else we got. Yes, Daniel, happy birthday to your little one there.
I'm saving the Kel question for like 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so you mentioned New York and MegaCon. Do you have a favorite convention that you've attended so far?
Well, they have a soft spots. Every convention will eventually, have a soft spot, in me. First time I went to Florida. Surprisingly enough, we didn't get to meet each other, isn't it? Right, Corey, Greg? We were just
I got to
neighbors.
meet you briefly there. Actually,
Yeah.
Alan, we went out to dinner together that night. There's a picture with us.
Was that the dinner I missed?
Yeah, it was the dinner you missed.
Yeah, we did.
Kale was sitting
We
there
did,
with
we
a knife in the picture.
We did.
Greg,
Yes, of course we did. How can I forget that? We had that dinner together with Art Germ and gang, and you were sitting right in front of me. Sorry.
I must be a forgettable face. I don't know. No, and then that was fun. That was a really I loved that convention. That was my first real introduction to you and your art, as well as Kale.
I remember we spoke before I go to Orlando. So I already know you prior to Orlando. I remember that, and Orlando is definitely one of the show that changed my career tremendously. Thanks to Daniel for flying us there, me and Kale. We had a lot of fun over there. We met so many people, including yourself, right? All the retailers. The funny thing is that when we were there, all these guys who talk to us, right? We have no idea who they are. They came over, they shook our hands. We went back to Malaysia, right? And months later, we are doing covers upon covers for all of them. It's crazy. So for me personally, Orlando is the game changer. To introduce me to all the retailer friends and working with them, and since then, it has been crazy. I've been working nonstop since Orlando. Very thankful for that. Very thankful for all the friends that I meet, in Orlando. So yeah, Orlando is definitely the show that I'm super grateful with. And then the next one was New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
So that was where we really hook up, isn't it? Right? We spend so much time together, having dinners, drinking.
Yeah. It was fun.
It's like
steady going to each other's tables and whatnot. At least I was over there. Greg was over there a couple times. You didn't wander over to our table too much because you were busy working, as were we. But part of my job is also networking. So, that was a hell of a show. Plus, we went to, what was it, the Texas barbecue? What was
Texas
that? Was
barbecue,
yeah,
yes, in New York.
Yeah.
That is like a whole lot of sense. But I mean, it was good food. And we got to give Kale his, he accidentally ordered a pina colada.
Yeah. The kid thought that it's
a fruity drink.
It's a fruity drink. Yeah. I think I answered this question before somewhere, but the thing that I enjoyed most in a Comic Con is hanging out with my friends. I think that is the part that I enjoy the most, and I still do. I miss going to the cons and hang out with all my friends again, like you guys.
Yeah, we miss it too, man. So much.
Hopefully soon later. Yeah.
It's like one of the things that I missed is I miss, like, the whole marketing aspect of a con for what we do anyways. Obviously Greg and I as far as artistic ability. Greg drew me a hell of a cable earlier, but
I threw it away already. 'Cause it didn't look good.
Feelings are hurt.
Oh, you did.
I'll try one.
But you know, it's the marketing and setting things up. Like you know, I was talking earlier with Brian Polito, and you know, we set up some things to happen. We set things up. It was like a year ago. We set things up to happen that happened this week. You know, and it's being able to lay those seeds and just kind of play with everything. And you know, like we went out to dinner. You know, I took the picture of us all at dinner. And, you know, there was a reason we were all at dinner. And now we all, from Art Germ Collectibles, Scott's Collectibles, you know, we all work together. We're all basically like family at this point. It's not competing retailers or anything like that. It's
that's how we met the Rich Cat Bianco guy too.
Yeah. Someday we'll get it. Someday.
I thought I had.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss that Bianco guy. I miss that Jefferson guy.
David Sanchez says, Alan Quah, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, David.
Nelson Chua says hello.
Nelson is here as well?
Yes, sir. You know, whenever you're right, the friends come out. They're always here. The guys that support you, like Nelson, you know, he's always here, you know, supporting you. And that's awesome. You know,
yeah. Nelson has been supporting me. Sorry?
I said you've done some really good covers for Nelson in Big Time Collectibles.
Thank you. He have supported me from day one. You know, I'm really, really thankful to make his acquaintance when he first offered me my first cover, my first retailer variant, actually. You know, and from then on, we have worked on probably 9 covers together. He is now a really dear friend of mine. I'm thankful for getting to know him and him giving me all this opportunity. Yeah.
Alan, so I'm going to ask the thing that I asked Kel to send me here. So he says this puts you in a tough spot. Who would you choose between Moon Knight and Colossus?
Who would I choose between Moon Knight
and Colossus?
And Colossus.
Yes.
Can I not choose?
Are they two of your favorite Marvel characters?
Well, Colossus is definitely one of them. You know, when I first discovered X-Men was when I saw my first John Byrne cover, and I always imagine, you know, how amazing John Byrne drew Colossus. I just felt that nobody had ever gave him justice. You know, I mean, after my first experience with John Byrne's X-Men, right, and over the years, I just couldn't find a replacement, you know, of anybody who could have done a better Colossus than John Byrne. You know, my all-time comic artist hero. So yeah, Colossus is definitely way up there. It's one of the characters that I love, and I have the honor to immortalize Colossus into a statue. You know, I've done statue design for Royal Selangor for Colossus, which you guys can pull up from the internet. It was launched sometime last year in Singapore Comic Con.
That's pretty awesome. What's the process like when designing a statue? Is there anything different than you would with just doing a cover or anything else?
Yeah, it's very much different because you know, in drawing comics, right? You just need to draw one angle. That's it, right? You don't need to care how he looks like at the side or, you know, or at the back. you just focus on what you see, right? It's basically if you're doing comics, what you see is what you get, right? So, but when you are designing statues, you need to consider the design of that pose, of how it looks in multiple angles. So that is the challenge always, because what you do facing forward may not look nice when it is at the back or at the side. So there's a lot of back and forth, to get the pose right. So the fun part is always the tweaking part, where we get to work with the sculptor on how to improve the design. So I enjoy designing statue as well, because it is the approach is different, and it is a nice distraction from from sitting down doing the stuff that I normally do every day.
So
Yeah,
Corey's
so
Colossus here. We put it up on screen.
Yep, that's the one. That's the one.
I think it's gorgeous.
It is. Like this little picture here does not do it justice. You guys need to go check this out. Just Google Alan Quah Colossus statue. Good God Almighty!
That texture on the outfit is phenomenal.
So this statue actually goes hand in hand, or rather, it pairs with another statue design that I did a few months earlier, last year. It pairs with Wolverine. Wolverine is standing on the wreckage of oh my goodness, what is the name of the Sentinel? Sorry, standing on top of the head of damage, or rather a broken down Sentinel. It's like he have just emerged victorious, from a fight with a Sentinel. So this particular piece is like a part 2 of that design. It's like them doing a curveball special onto a Sentinel, and this is like the end result of that.
Yeah, this one looks great too. Where we got that pulled up now.
So he's standing on the head, and Colossus is standing on the chest. So it connects together, to tell a story.
Nice.
Right. So what we do with all the statue designs that we have done for Royal Selangor is to try to tell a story as much as we can using the base, So we have a few more designs coming in this year. I'm very excited with that. I can't review anything yet, but
Texture.
Yeah. So I'm doing another 6 more designs that will be rolling up soon this year.
That is incredible.
Shows you.
Thank you.
So we got a question from Ryan Brown here. Is there a character that you feel is just too complicated, or to draw, or something that challenged you?
That challenged me. Many characters challenged me, but the one that I think I answered this before. The one on my first day on the show. The most challenging character to me is Superman. I always felt that Superman is the most difficult character to draw because of how regal he is, right? So I think I am more in tune in drawing, characters like this, psychotic look, or angry all the time, while Superman is quite a tough challenge, to make him look regal at the same time without him looking too angry or too evil, when he fights a bad guy, right? So I find that to be the most challenging. Yeah.
Now we've got to see some really cool covers from you from big franchises, whether it be Ninja Turtles. You're currently on Nightwing. There was a Terminator. Are there any other franchises that you would really like to do that you kind of enjoy?
Yeah. Well, I hope to be able to do something for Marvel one day. I think I have a lot of characters that I would love to draw in from the from the Marvel sandbox. One day. But yeah, but whatever happened, right? I'm already, to be honest, I'm very thankful for what I'm doing right now. Because 2 years ago, or even 3 years ago, right? I can only dream of drawing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cover. I can only dream of even drawing what you call a Nightwing, right? So I mean, and to be able to fulfill that dream is, it's, I don't know. I'm basically speechless. It's like never thought that I would be able to. Because I know how tough this industry is, right? And just to, in the span of these 2 years, to draw all these characters, it's really a dream come true. So anything beyond that, right, is an extra for me right now. Really.
So last Comic Conline, you were really kind of hitting your stride with the glow in the dark inks and stuff like that. Is there anything that you've been any new techniques or anything that you've started taking interest in?
Yeah. In fact, I've after doing the last few shows, doing lives and because of COVID, right? We all stuck at home for so long, right? I managed to spend more time with this, doing ink wash styles and everything. And in recent months, I have sort of like decided that I think I'm done with drawing with pencils. Because most of my published work, if you know my work, drawn in pencils and then they go direct to ink. I mean to colors, right? But now, moving forward, I'm going to just use ink, on all my covers if I can. So for the last month or so, I've been dabbling with this ink wash style. So the last few covers that I am allowed to announce, I have already started using this method. So hopefully, everyone will like the result. So far I'm not allowed to show any yet, but hopefully you will enjoy the ink wash style on my published covers.
Oh, definitely looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So back to the one kill question there. So we talked about Colossus. Moon Knight, is Moon Knight a favorite character also?
Moon Knight, yeah. I mean, I surprisingly I don't have much chance to draw Moon Knight. I don't know why. But whenever I do, I enjoy doing it. So hopefully I get more chance to do Moon Knight.
Now, what is your favorite Moon Knight costume?
What is my favorite?
Yeah, the Moon Knight costume. Which one's your favorite?
I would say the era when Bill Sienkiewicz was doing it.
Now, are you fond of? I can't remember which personality has the sharp dress Moon Knight.
I think it's a newer thing.
It is. It's a newer thing. But are you any kind of a fan of that at all? Where he's just got the cowl and then a white suit? three-piece suit?
Yeah, I just find that the design of the character very interesting to draw because as a design, right, of a cover, right. Moon Knight is a character that I don't need to spend too much effort on, because he's almost pure white, right? So as a design, I find him to be very functional. He can really stand out as a cover because if I were to draw just the background, and using him as the negative space, right? I always feel that that would make a really cool cover, you know. I imagine if I were to draw Moon Knight, I would probably do a series of him in negative space. That means I'll play his shadows, and his whole being would be very minimal, very minimalist. But I will focus on the background, the things that is around him to create the shape of Moon Knight. I think that would be quite exciting, to approach. So yeah, Moon Knight is one of those characters that you think that you can use design, to draw him rather than just grind him out like how we normally do for a character. So
Chet
that's
asked, what kind of research do you have to do when a publisher asks you to do a cover, especially if you aren't familiar with the character? Do you read books, or do you just go searching for images, or both?
yeah, good question. Actually, the toughest part of being a cover artist, I realized, is I mean, as you know, prior to me extensively doing covers, I was more an interior comic artist. I draw interiors for many years before I jumped into this cover game. So drawing interior, I get to draw the same character over and over again, and in time, I become very efficient with it because I've drawn so many times, of the character day in day out, right? I mean, you draw interiors, you need to produce a page a day, and because of that, you just become efficient in drawing that character. But when you are doing covers, it's a totally different game, because every assignment is a new character, really. I mean, apart from me drawing Nightwing. Nightwing is different. When the first cover I did, I was super nervous. I don't know whether I'm giving justice to the character, and Nightwing is in a costume that that I cannot relate, as a collector, really, so it was tough. You need to get yourself what you call knowing that the design of the character and the characteristic, right, of the costume, how he function in that costume. So those are always the tough part, And then after that, beyond the second cover, you get comfortable, right? And then the editor tells you he's going to change his costume again, to the red and black costume. So then your nervous system start all over again. You got to learn to do the characters all over. So those are always the tough part. And worse is when you are doing a cover where there's only one opportunity, and most of the experience is like that. You will have a retailer telling you, hey, do you want to draw TMNT, for the first time, right? You will be scrambling right around to get to know the character, draw quick sketches here and there, right? Just to hopefully in time to be able to draw a really decent cover, So it is always Groundhog Day, really, when you get your first assignment, you have to go through the whole process again. How are you going to be able to do justice to this character, right? And then hope for the best. So far so good. Really, I think the experience of which boils down to the experience of anatomy, I guess, right? You draw a face, you understand the face, right? It's a matter of you tweaking the face to get the emotion right for that particular character. Because end of the day, if you don't want to show emotion on a face, right, this can be anybody. You just put a mask on and it can be anybody. So yeah, that's the way I see it. Drawing covers is really Groundhog Day. It's a repetition, really, of process, right?
So another one of your friends has come on to say hello. Art Germ says, "Awesome sketch, Alan."
Thank you, Senpai. Arjun is one of the coolest artists around in the industry. Always, always generous with advice. Always coming over, to say hi. I appreciate his friendship.
Us too. Very awesome guy. It's still, I've been working with him for as long as I have, and it's still, every day I'm just like, I get to work with Art Germ. This is awesome.
I want to talk about my first experience with Art Germ. It was actually quite funny. Well, not really funny. Rather, it's more like a real honor, really. Because of course everybody knows Art Germ, and Art Germ is from Singapore. I've been to a couple of Singapore shows many times. And at that time, I was really a struggling artist, and Art Germ was really a top guy in the industry, And well, basically, I'm a shy guy. I just don't know how to approach people, right? So my observation of Art Germ is always from afar. Never, never going to him, saying hi to him. I'm just too shy to do that, right? So over the years, he has always been like that. Just watch him grow and myself slowly growing as an artist, getting published more, right? And I remember there was one show 3 years ago. I was invited to Manila Comic Con. I was setting up my place at the retailers booth, and suddenly this tall guy came over. His shadow was like covering part of me when I was, I wasn't facing him. I was just bending down doing my things, right? Then I can see a shadow hovering over me. I look up and it was Art Germ. We were about to start the show. He was just walking around, doing his thing, right? The Art Germ thing, I call it. Going around the convention and shaking people's hands. So that was the first time I met Art Germ, really, and him. Met Art Germ up close. He coming over to say hi to me. I felt like that was one of the most awesome thing. You don't need to do that because he's a top guy, right? And I'm just one of those tier 4 artists then, right? So and I thought that for him to do that, he must be really an awesome guy. So that's how I always see Art Germ. Because prior to that, I always thought that Art Germ don't talk a lot, right? So he must be really tough to approach. So me being a shy guy, right, never dare to approach anybody. So I thought, so I can just watch this artist from far, just admire him from far. But he made the first move, to come over and say hi to me, and we have been saying hi to each other now every time we see each other. So which is great,
When you said that the first time you met Art Germ was a funny story, I was kind of hoping just a little bit that you were the Goku guy.
Well, that would be embarrassing even if I'm the Goku guy.
Never.
Yeah, that would be really, really awkward. Yeah.
Oh man.
And I have to find out about the Goku story from the live show.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the Goku story until I saw the show the other day. So that's funny.
Probably one of the best stories in all of comics, in my opinion. It's not necessarily comic related, because but it is. I love that story.
Yeah,
I laugh every time he tells it. Every time.
yeah.
Into a comic.
I think all of us will have a story of a fan that has that became a little bit too personal, I guess, or too in your face sometimes.
So do you have a Goku story? Not necessarily Goku, but something in that vein of I guess a fan that kind of went maybe a little too far.
So far not yet. So far not yet. I hope I don't have to. Because I try to give the idea that everybody have access to me. And at the same time, I'm also hoping that everybody would appreciate my space as well. Yeah, but I always believe that everybody will have access to me. You message me, I will most of the time if I'm awake, right, I will reply you. But you got to give me time to reply you. But I will reply you. So that's how I approach
Yeah.
the fan base all this while. So hopefully, so far, it will remain like that, cordial, and people are nice. Yeah, I enjoy that.
So doing comic covers, has there been like something you've tried in a cover, like you're putting like 40 windows on a building or something like that, to where you're like, I'm not doing that again?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, it's funny that you ask this question, because I, my wife Lavinia will always tell me, you got to stop this. You got to stop adding so many things onto this thing here. Is enough. You got to move on. So she's sort of like now my reminder to tell me to, I think this cover is enough already. You got to stop doing it. I have this disease that I need to fill up the blanks all the time. And it's not helping me with my deadlines really. So so I'm learning. I'm learning to I'm learning to let go. Yeah.
It can be hard sometimes.
There's so much detail on those Nightwing covers. Not just Nightwing cover. Pretty well every cover that you do, there's so much detail. I think there was a Swamp Thing he did one time with the pencils that was just holy shit. I get that was a commission though.
Which one was that?
Swamp Thing commission.
Yeah, I did a crazy Swamp Thing Batman commission years back, and I did that because I felt bad for the customer. He asked for a commission that is not supposed to be of that detail, but because he waited so long, and I really wanted to draw a good Swamp Thing, I thought that would be a nice platform, or rather a nice opportunity for me to try out drawing Swamp Thing for the first time, and it ended up becoming something really, really too overly detailed. I think it's good enough for a cover, but I have a happy customer, so.
I would imagine so. That was a phenomenal Swamp Thing drawing, man.
One of the things I see with your covers too is a lot of them portray a lot of action. So you have the Nightwing one where he's jumping out of the window and landing on the ground. The Turtles where they're eating ramen and stuff like that, sitting down. So I tend to see more stories on your covers, or I kind of make up one in my head, like, okay, this just happened based off of what you do in the covers. Is that intentional to where you're showing more action, or is that coming from doing interiors before?
Yeah, I guess that have to do with me being an advertising man before I pursue my career as a comic artist again. I mean, in advertising, they teach you to always tell a story, right? Design, it has to have a purpose. So that is ingrained in me, really. Whenever I do something, a cover, a sketch, or even a series of covers, right? There has to be a purpose in it. How I approach the art, how I approach the storytelling, and how I even approach the colors. So when I was working on Nightwing, my plan was really not just to draw a cool pose cover, because basically B variant, you are you are not allowed to tell a continuity story from the interior. It's almost a standalone cover, really, with no reason to have any connection with the interior. So with that, I wanted to tell a little mini story of my own, using Nightwing performing his thing, right? His generic somersault thing, right? To convey the message that he is very acrobatic, right? So that was my game plan, right? To create this series of movements that, if you put them together, right, they are actually telling a story, right? So you have him jumping from the roof, and then or from the building, and then he was on the street chasing after an invisible enemy, right? And then there was another scene where he's jumping out from a window, and then him on the ground, and so all those are really a little storytelling that I'm doing. And then towards the tail end of the second part of this cover series, I've evolved to using colors to tell a story. So there will be one cover that I'll be using a lot of blues, and then the next cover will be using a lot of reds, and another cover will be using a lot of yellows. So that if ever there's an opportunity to put them together, right, you can see the stark contrast on them. They have their own visual value to it. So that was my game plan, doing those covers. And then when we were working with Nelson on TMNT, myself, Kill, will always try to think of a concept where we can, tell a more complete story, right? So that's what happened to the ramen campaign. We did that series of them doing all the ordinary stuff, right? So it is really us telling a story, and I think that would make a better cover if we have a concept and an approach to it.
So on the ramen one, did Michelangelo put the fly in Jenica soup, or did that just end up in there? How did that one go?
Sorry, come again?
On your ramen turtles cover, you have Jenica where she's holding up the fly that was in her ramen.
Yes.
Was that that's Michelangelo?
That's actually a personal experience that we had actually, together with Nelson. That happened in Orlando. We had dinner together in Orlando. Myself, Kill, Nelson, and his son Dan. The four of us were having dinner at a ramen shop, and that was after the show. All of us were very hungry. Nelson wanted to host us to a really nice ramen place, and we found it in Orlando. Forgotten the name of the shop, but the noodles are amazing. So we sat down, we ordered our beer and our ramen. It goes fantastically well together. I was almost finished with my ramen, and then I saw a fly floating on my soup. So Nelson was really embarrassed, and he wanted to call the captain, to complain, and then the captain came, apologized profusely, and because I was just so hungry, I just picked the fly up, put it at the side of my table, and continue eating. So I'm from Asia, right?
It's not that gross.
Yeah, a fly is protein, right?
Yeah.
So, no big deal. No, I was just too hungry. I didn't care too much about the fly. I don't think the fly is going to make me sick anymore.
Nah.
Yeah. So that was the story, you know. Then we came back, and we got to do this series of covers, you know. So then I think Kale was the one who initially suggested that we should do something ordinary, right? So and yeah, then we started brainstorming, and we thought of the ideas, you know, of what kind of ordinary stuff that we can do. So and I said I wanted to do the ramen thing, you know, the fly thing. So that become a cover.
Nelson said he was only complaining because his ramen didn't have the fly.
That would tell a better story, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah. So those are the fun moments. You know. I mean, I love going to the cons. I love meeting the fans. But what I love most are really, you know, the camaraderie. You know, the friendship. You know, we hanging out together. You know, having all this experience, all these stories to tell. I think these are more precious, you know, than anything else, you know. Yeah.
I mean, most definitely. I couldn't really tell you what happened each day at New York Comic Con, but I can tell you what happened every night at New York Comic Con. So
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Like there's the time we sat, it was at we were in Stan's hotel, we were waiting on them to come down, and never ended up coming down because Derek, I don't know if you know, but Derek had like he got the worst case of the gout like right as he was getting there, and so he had to miss out on a lot of the dinners that we were going to and stuff because he was just in so much pain. And I don't know if anybody watching has ever had the gout, but I'm sorry if you
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that too. I heard about that he had the gout, so I can imagine how painful it is. So, yeah. I hope he will feel better though.
I don't know why, but I just remember we were sitting in the lobby of Stan's hotel, me, you, and Anna. We were just sitting there taking pictures. That is like a weird thing to remember.
y'all were taking pictures. I don't know,
bro. You were in the pictures.
Yeah.
But you know, walking Times Square as all those people tried to sell us that fake marijuana. Every 30 steps, hey man, y'all like comedy? They all have side hustles and shit, trying to sell us fake weed.
Yeah. No, that's a culture shock to me, really. That was the first time I see marijuana being sold you know, legally, you know, because you know, after New York Comic Con, right? We stayed back for 2 more days, myself and Lavinia, and we were, you know, doing the tourist thing, you know, going around New York, you know, and yeah, we found a place that sells marijuana, you know. Interesting.
And the funny story is we were walking one night and we passed this truck and we look at the back of it and it's Art Germ's art on the back of the truck promoting marijuana.
It was a poison ivy.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
What the shit? Clearly it was stolen and not licensed, and Art Germ had nothing to do with it, but it was
obviously.
What the hell is going on?
That's a funny story.
Yeah.
So Alan, you the other day you posted the Alpha Flight 1 signed by John Byrne, and so you tend to kind of venture into comics. Is there a creator right now that you really want to do a book for that you're liking their work?
A writer, right? Obviously, you're asking. Yeah. Well, there are so many. There are so many good writers out there right now. James Tinian.
We know you're not really doing interiors right now, but if one writer said, "Hey, Alan, I want to work with you," who would the writer be that would pull you into working on interiors right now?
Interesting. I think if I ever had a chance, right, I would like to work on Spawn.
So you'd like to do interior for Spawn?
Yep. If there's any interior that we want to work for right now, if you ask me, right now, if you offer me an interior gig, because I told myself that interior is just too tough for me right now. I'm in this state of mind that I feel that I'm not good enough for interior anymore because of my OCD of the need to fill space up. I will kill myself if I do interior. But if anybody were to offer me a job on interior right now, and for me to say yes, I think it have to be Spawn. Because I think I would enjoy that too much to feel the pressure, of delivering a page a day.
So Ryan Brown said a day later, apparently, the police precinct near Penn had that truck in lockup, and we're outside taking pictures in front of it.
I love New York.
Yeah, New York is something else. So we are. We'll keep going. Hell.
What time are we into now? How much time do you
about 3 minutes left, but we can push a little longer if you need it.
have? I'm almost done.
Okay.
So we can even push this out to anybody who's interested now too, I guess.
Okay. So are we going to do a claim or are we going to do an auction?
What do you guys think? Are there many people who?
I mean, I know it'll get claimed, but do we give it to the person with the fastest fingers or give other people the opportunity?
What are the people saying right now? Let's hear them out, see what they want to do.
So I know it's going to get claimed. See, I mean, there's already people trying to claim it.
Okay.
We haven't said yes yet. And do you even know how much it is? How do you know it's not $1 million?
Nelson Chua is saying auction.
I like Nelson. I think we could auction it. What do you think we should start at, Alan?
What, is it a live auction or what?
Yeah, it'll be a live auction right now. Greg will put a timer on it, and we'll run the auction for people watching.
Okay, cool.
Where would you like to start it?
Well, initially I was planning to let this go at the usual price that I'm doing for Conline. So I'm leaving up to you guys,
Okay.
Because
What is your usual price? I didn't.
200.
200. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll start the bidding at 200, and it's going to start in.
I have to turn the sleep thing off.
Oh yeah, 2 minutes. All right, ready, set, go. All right, starting bids $200. Who's got the first one? I just want to have everybody have a chance to pick it up. So Nelson says 300. Do we have anybody else? We 30 seconds into it. Anybody with the 325? Oh man, I figured somebody would come in.
My boss is bidding for it.
Yeah, it started off with the $300 bid.
It's hard to beat.
I mean, if I was eligible, I'd bid 325. That's the only bad part about doing this stuff, man. We remove ourselves from contention for buying art.
I understand.
It's worth it getting to talk to.
It is. Man, some of this stuff is so amazing. I think Nelson came right out of the top and said no. My wife said I have to go on Conline without buying something from Alan.
Yeah. Daniel still have 2 pieces
All right,
waiting.
30 seconds, guys. Anything over 300 is going to take it. If you outbid Nelson. Outbid Nelson. Oh, there we go. Turn my volume down.
So I'm going to add the glow in the dark effect offline.
3,
Oh,
2, 1, and
Let's see if anything else comes in. So Nelson has that for $300.
300. Nelson took it. So, yeah. Oh, he was late.
Gary.
I'm pretty sure he was late. Wow, all these bids are coming in long after. They must be what's going on with the lag there?
Rich says 320.
No, Rich said 325 wins. No, Rich, are you talking about the Gary Moran 325? I'm going to have to rely on Rich here because he's watching elsewhere. Who won that, guys? Did Gary's bid get in? Gary made it in the end with 325. Okay. All right. Everybody's saying Gary got it. Well, we got 2 for Gary, 1 for Nelson. Rich is the referee here. He's he's a member of the staff, so that's what Rich says. Sorry, Nelson. Don't hate me, dude. Yep, everybody's saying that Gary won it. All righty. So there it is, man. Congratulations, Gary. That is a beautiful piece. That is, man. That's an intense looking Joker, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll try to do a bit more touch up on this one offline, and yeah, congratulations to the winner, and as always, it's been great talking to you guys.
Gary, if you can get a hold of Alan, do you want him to message you at your Instagram or through Facebook?
Yeah, he can message me on Facebook.
Okay.
I think yes, I know Gary. Gary is from Singapore. Thank you, Gary.
All right, man. Alan, I want to thank you for coming on again, man. So much for coming on for the 3rd time in a row, dude. This is such a blessing for you to,
Thank you for having me. You guys are always good friends, and I can't say no to you guys. So look forward to see you guys not on the internet, right? Across the table, it would be nicer.
I'm greatly looking forward to the day we all get to hang out again. It is, I'm telling you, we're gonna get the biggest table anywhere. I don't care what we're eating. We're all going to eat there.
All the flies too.
Yeah. Thank you for everything. And to those of you who join in, I appreciate very much, especially all my friends. You all know who you are. And to the new fans, I hope to draw more good art for all of you. So everyone, take care. I know we are not in really good times right now, but take good care of yourself, right? Stay responsible, take good care, and social distancing is really working. So use it, do it, right? Yeah. So I want to see all of you healthy in the next Comic-Con. All right.
Yes, sir. We'll see you very soon, Alan.
See you. Bye, everyone.
All right, guys. What an amazing demonstration from Alan Quah there, man. And congratulations again to Gary for winning that. That is a beautiful piece. Lucky, dude. So we're going to finish off the night here. We're going to read off the sponsors one last time, then we're going to call it a night.
We have the Short Box Podcast. They're coming up on their 300th episode. Features comic and pop culture topics. They regularly have industry professionals, actors, musicians, and content creators. So if you want to find out a new podcast, the Short Box Podcast.
At JJ's Comics and Art, your home for lots of comics, man. Comics, comic art, graded comics, other collectibles like sports cards and pogs. Check out the Instagram bio for the latest they have to offer.
He's going to have to get pogs now.
He does. I know he has pogs. He's got them. He's got to list them.
Scott's Collectibles reps some of the top creators in the business today, and they were kind enough to lend a few of them to us for the show.
Like that guy.
Yeah. Head over to scottscollectibles.co.uk to see the latest offerings from their creators.
MajorPain.com just launched and is adding new comics every day. Like them on Facebook and join their insiders group, or feel free to give them a call, and they can help you find the comics and comic art you're looking for.
Alpha Omega Certification is the official CGC facilitator for Conline. Check out alphaomegacertification.com for an amazing list of signature submission opportunities.
OutrightGeekery.com is the official news site for Conline. Head over to their website to check out the latest in comic-related news.
The Comic Book Shopping Network is a hub where retailers can come together to host live sales every single day. CBSN is the home for some of the best comic deals and people on Facebook.
OasisComics.com is your official home for Jay Lee and David Barron exclusive covers. Now available are the Power Ranger exclusive cover blanks.
And get your Art Germ Lady Death cover. It's the Comic Conline exclusive. Runs through Monday, 5 p.m. California time, Pacific time. And, CoffinComicsShop.com.
If you're a retailer looking to be a sponsor for the next show, feel free to message us either through the Facebook, the Instagram, or me directly, Greg directly, and we'll see what we can do for you. Again, guys, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody that came out today, Alan and the rest of them. Man, tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time when the guys with Alpha and Omega go live once again at CGC with Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti. We will see you guys tomorrow.